Good Tuesday morning to you all. This is another Watchmen update. Lots of updates coming from you guys from all over. Well, what do we have today? We have a solution to the bird flu and the egg crisis. It's been suggested. It's natural, it's easy, and it comes to you from a farmer that you've probably actually already heard about if you're in these circles with us. One of the Watchmen caught their hospital double billing Medicare for treatments. And then they came and tried to bill them again, too. Absolutely crazy. A Walmart alert due to credit card fraud, especially on pickup orders that you need to hear. We got a Watchmen report from Bulgaria. Chicken shortage hits Domino's Pizza. Gavin Newsom of California wants a whole bunch of money. Should we give it to him? And one of the Watchmen on this channel launches a lawsuit against a grocery store because they tested their beef and it was more fat than it was beef. That and more on today's updates. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates that you guys are sending in from all over. If you have something to share, make sure you use the word update somewhere in your comment. That gets it to the right place. And we do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They help people who have retirement accounts. Today's a risky day to be involved in stocks. I've been talking just in the last couple of days about how shaky the stock market is. If you want to get into something safer, now is the time to make the move over to precious metals. If you want to talk to someone about that, find out what it looks like, find out what the fees are, and see if it's a good fit for you, Jonathan and his team would love to talk to you, and they'll walk you through everything and see if it's a good fit for you. There'll be a link at the end of the video for you to find out more. All right, Joann Fabrics is closing its remaining stores. Previously, we reported that they were closing down their 500 stores, and then I found out they actually had 800, and they were just closing 500 of the 800. Well, they're closing the other 300 now, too. So they're all closing now. So if you have any Joann Fabrics near your home, you might be able to get some deals on fabrics. Check it out. See if you can get some bargains out there. Gavin Newsom, the commandant of the People's Republic of California, has demanded $40 billion from the federal government for the LA fires. Now, I have a humble proposal for you, and you guys let me know down in the comments whether you think it's a good proposal or not. I humbly propose that the Congress pass a bill authorizing emergency funding to the state of California for the fires to the exact dollar amount, the exact cent of all the federal money that was sent to North Carolina for the Hurricane Helene, and not a penny more. Let me know down in the comments if you think that's how it should go. It should just be like, this is how much we give North Carolina, this is how much we'll give you, California. FinCEN beneficial ownership information. And if you're like, Steve, I don't want to hear about that one again. Unfortunately, you have to. And well, I don't know. It sounds like this is going to be the final update on this. So if you have a small company, if you are part of a nonprofit that doesn't actually have a 501c3 letter, it's debatable whether small churches that don't have a letter from the IRS might need to actually fill these out. It's unclear, and nobody seems to have the answers on that. Okay, people have answers, but they're conflicting. Anyway, so it got restarted. So all these organizations, all these businesses have to file the FinCEN BOI report by March 21st to avoid penalties. So make sure you fill that out. It's not too big of a form. It's just kind of intrusive, and it's something that we shouldn't have to do. It'll take you 30, 40 minutes maybe. If you have a bunch of owners that you have to, or people who have access to the bank accounts, you may have to, it may take longer than that. But yeah, you're going to have to do that, and it's intrusive, I got it. Okay, speaking of government insanity, and keep that last story in mind, because it applies to this one. Elon Musk and his Doge folks sent out that email to the government employees saying that they had to write back with 5 things that they, it says about 5 bullet points of what you accomplished last week. Well, everyone started having this conniption, an absolute meltdown. And This is what Elon had to say about it. The email request was utterly trivial, as the standard for passing the test was to type some words and press send. They didn't have to type words that meant anything. They just had to type a few words and it would at least pass the test that they were a live human being that was actually answering their email. Someone who had access to their email and someone who actually checked it and sent a response back. So that was the bar. Reply to the email and send words. Yet so many failed even that inane test, urged on by in some cases by their managers. Have you ever witnessed such incompetence and contempt for how your taxes are being spent? Makes old Twitter look good. Didn't think that was possible. And what's going to happen here now, he says that later on that they're going to send a second one. And anyone who does not respond to that second one is going to face termination. Now, keep in mind that this is something that would take less than 5 minutes. Less than 5 minutes for basically anybody. And this is too far beyond the pale. And yet, the government thinks it's not beyond the pale to demand everyone to file their FinCEN report. This absolutely ridiculous, redundant, invasive documentation that has nothing to do with taxes and it's all about fighting terrorists and stuff. So the government can do that to us. How much aggravation and time did you have to spend doing your tax return this year? And I know most of you, the federal government could print out your tax return and send it to you. They have all the information, all the forms, the 1099s and all that, and the W-2s that went into them. They could just spit out a proposed tax return and send it to you. They could do that, but instead, you have to fill it out every year. So it's okay for them to inconvenience you and us, the citizens, but it's not inconvenient. It's not okay for us to inconvenient the workers whose job it is to answer a simple email. Now, interestingly enough, and I think a bunch of people are going to do this now that they realize that all they need to do is just type some words. They could type how much they hate Doge and how much they dislike the current arrangement or to complain about things. But interestingly enough, Doge is going to use AI to read all of these emails. So they're going to take all the email responses from this and they're going to feed them into AI. Partially to look for responses that are incomplete or abusive. So if they write something mean or unprofessional, they may very well get caught. And that kind of makes me happy. All right, Joel Salatin. You may have heard of him. He's very big into sustainable gardening, sustainable farming, about the health of the soil and to do things healthily and properly. Well, he's come out recently and openly criticized the government action on bird flu. Going into a house that has tested positive for bird flu and then slaughtering all the birds. This is what he had to say. I have always suggested that the survivors from bird flu should be kept for breeding in order to build flock immunity. This is such a basic animal genetic principle, it's not even debatable. And yet, U.S. scientific protocol is kill the healthy ones. Think about that. You could just let the bird flu go through the chicken house, see which ones survive, and then go, let's use those birds for breeding. And all of their chicks are going to have a significant resistance to bird flu, probably. It's a simple, easy, and you don't need to use Pfizer or any of these drug companies. No wonder we're not doing it, right? That's just summing up our government protocols altogether. John Doe says, when the United States Dow Jones Industrial Average, fund crashed in 1929, it wasn't until 1954, 25 years later, that it returned to the same level. 99.9999% of people can't even comprehend this. People are like, well, just go into the stock market, and if it goes down, you just wait for it to come back up. Are you cool waiting for 25 years? And if you're invested in individual stocks, it might be a lot longer than that. Pets.com. What are some of the other companies that went kablooey back during the dot-com burst? Don't know who those companies are anymore. Nashville Pasta Man says, update. If you could buy a $600 machine that makes you $1 per year. Sounds like a great deal, right? Only take you $600 years to pay it back, right? Would you buy it? $600 for a $1 a year machine. Knowing it will break even in 600 years. This is Palantir stock. Shares cost 599 times earnings right now. Absolutely insane. It's a $600 machine that spits out $1 per year. Stock valuations are higher, anything over 17 to 1 earnings per share is absolutely overvalued. And yet, when you look at the valuations on the stock market today, it's way beyond that. It's assuming that the future will be perfect. In fact, that it's going to get more perfect every year that goes by. It's going to get so much better in the next couple of years. In fact, a lot of times in history, 5 times stock earnings or current earnings was more the go-to. 5 or 10 times. Because you need to recoup your investment over 5 years or recoup your investment over 10 years. The idea when you start paying 17 times is that's crazy. Danielle says Brookshire's grocery store in South Arkansas has a limit of 2 cartons per eggs, 2 cartons per customer of eggs on the cooler doors. Never seen this before now. But yet a lot of other stores and a lot of other chains are doing the same thing. Chicken update. Chicken shortage has come to South Carolina. I went to Domino's the other day to get my usual barbecue chicken pizza. I had to substitute pepperoni because they are having a chicken shortage. Their words. Willie in Columbus, Ohio. Eggs are $30 for a 60-pack at Walmart. That's 50 cents an egg. Shelves are bare. Products with little or no toxic chemicals are hard to find. Columbus City Council here is defying the DEI rule and encouraging other cities to do the same. We basically have a civil war going on. It's a Cold War so far. Kimberly says health insurance companies are not the only ones scamming Medicare. I work at a hospital and also get treatment there. I'm a disabled veteran whose care is covered by the VA. I was ill, needed short-term hospital care and long-term physical therapy. It was $7,000 worth of therapy. The hospital sent the bills to collections. 2 years I fought it. VA said that they paid the bills and the hospital said that they didn't. Because I worked there, I found out that the hospital was under investigation and caught for double billing Medicare and being fined for it. They were also caught billing Medicare and the patients, VA and the veteran, which is what happened in this case. They billed the VA and then they also billed him, and multiple insurances for the same service. I have found out over the years that this is so much more common than people know. Stay vigilant with your medical bills and who is paying them. This is from Diane, a Walmart alert. I picked up a $29 order from Walmart Sunday, and by the time I had gotten home 20 minutes later, $650 had been charged to my credit card. I received a fraud alert from my Visa bank and the card was canceled immediately. I posted on Facebook and several other people said that they had also been charged illegally at Walmart grocery pickup or they had been given gift cards that when they tried to redeem them had already been cleaned off. Walmart takes no responsibility for any of these actions. Friends, be careful with your information. Be careful with your credit cards. And be so careful with your debit cards, friends. Seriously consider, if you feel the need to use your debit card, seriously consider getting a debit card on an account that you move a little bit of money over and then you use your debit card. Don't get a debit card on your checking account or your savings account. If you have a checking account, use it as a checking account. Push your money over into savings. If somebody tries to steal money with your debit card, hopefully there isn't much in there. Because if they clean that out, you're on the hook for that. The bank won't give you your money back. Credit cards at least will give you your money back. Please be so careful with your stuff, and also be careful with those gift cards because that kind of stuff happens too. KB says Rose Acre Farms in Seymour, Indiana. They're massive egg hatcheries, not hatcheries, egg-laying farms. It's saying it may be 2 years before they can get approval to get chickens on the farm there again. 2 years since the cullings to when they get the chickens again. They are trucking all of the soil away. But they won't say what they're doing with that soil. They are being very hush-hush about what they are doing with the soil, so it's probably not good. Jeanette says, food here in Bulgaria. People are boycotting big supermarkets as food is becoming silly with prices here. And this is from Richard here. Update, I purchased 5 pounds of ground beef in a roll, 73.27 fat content, right? As normal, as usual, from Winco in Vacaville, California. It looked pink, really pink. So I gave a sample of it to a friend at UC Davis to test. It came back 49% beef, 51% fat. I am filing a complaint with the USDA and the Bureau of Weights and Measures. Sick of US companies making out like real crooks. Wish I could move to another planet. We need to do more of that. We need to hold the people and the corporations accountable because our government's not doing it. Our government doesn't do anything. The only people that the government holds accountable are us for violating their petty, stupid rules. They never protect us from corporations. Why is that? Well, because the people over the Bureau of Weights and Measures oftentimes then get jobs working for the very companies that they were told to supervise in the long term. And in exchange oftentimes for waiving misdemeanors and problems that came up, they end up getting promises for nice, cushy jobs at those very same companies. This is how our government operates in the United States. Is it outright corruption? Do they get a nice big wad of cash? No, but they might get a book deal. Yeah, but they might get a job working for the companies that they were supposed to hold accountable. Well, friends, we're going to keep on them. We're going to keep the watchmen on the wall, watching them and letting everyone know what's going on. I appreciate all of you who contribute to this channel and let us know what you guys are seeing. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold about what you can do with your retirement account, there's a link for it right there. Just tap on the screen, fill out your information, and they will get in contact with you, answer your questions, no obligation to move forward. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up there. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report out.